how in the name of the goddesses are they going to beat us?
Real horses don't run into trees very often.
Right?
Welcome to Zelda Unknown. Hey everyone, and welcome to a new episode of Zelda Unknown. Across nearly 20 episodes we have time and time again painstakingly dissected specific provinces ranging from the vast sea in the east, across the field and castle town in the centre, to the wilderness of the snowy mountains, inhospitable desert and wild woods in the west.
But all of these are just separate entities in what is a seamless and fully connected Hyrule. Based on all official statements, Zelda Wii U will most likely be a radically different Zelda from past Zelda games, when it comes to its overworld, dungeons, puzzles, pacing and so on. Yes, we need to hold series producer Eiji Aonuma to his word about rethinking the conventions of Zelda. A move that will change the way we will play Zelda forever is something we need to be prepared for.
Let this sink in for a minute. Hyrule and Zelda Wii U will, for the first time, appear as a seamless and fully realistic country, with no artificial boundaries or loading screens, and mark for the most immersive Zelda experience to date. This will cause for whole new possibilities when it comes to travel, exploration, and puzzle solving, as there will be multiple ways to get to specific locations. A series first for a 3D Zelda game. In order to give a little taste of these, we have brought together the two current teasers, the Game Awards gameplay presentation, concept arts from Jessica Smith, and a little help from a custom map of Zelda Wii U made in Minecraft.
We depart from what is likely the starting point of the game in the southeastern area of Hyrule from the original Legend of Zelda. The reason for selecting the specific area is that we have map and gameplay footage of this position from the Game Awards demonstration. The Gamepad map will serve as our reference when moving across the known areas and later into the unknown. But before we leave on from the Gamepad, I think we should spend a little moment to talk about its function and the features in Zelda Wii U as the main and intended controller for the ultimate Zelda experience.
Let us begin from the map, which unlike in Wind Waker HD and Twilight Princess HD, have multiple zoom levels, a position marker button, and indicated points of interest such as villages with icons. At the top we have the in-game clock, while in the lower right corner we have a compass for navigation and an inventory menu button. We believe that this inventory screen will be modelled similarly to the ones found in the two Wii U HD remakes. On top of this, we know that there'll be heavy emphasis on gyroscope controls for aiming and amiibo support, similar to TPHD.
What used to be chunks of bound hubs with designated entrances and exits have been replaced by believable and varied landscapes. After two brief scenes around this area, we're moved over to what looks like an endless Hyrule Field. Talk about massive. And this is not something we just state, but based on actual calculations and statements given by series creator Mr. Shigeru Miyamoto and series producer Mr. Eiji Aonuma.
How far away is our destination from here?
Yeah, well, it'll still take about 4 or 5 more minutes, I suppose.
4 or 5 minutes more.
All of this is in accordance with Eiji Aonuma's statement about environmental hazards and handing back control to the player.
It means you can enter any area from any direction. So the puzzle solving in this game begins the moment the player starts to think about where they want to go, how they will get there, and what they will do when they arrive.
Instead of just pushing a block to reveal in-game secrets, we might be able to use our own intuition and exploration skills to trigger mini-bosses such as the giant energy monster from the E3 2014 reveal. It seems as if Nintendo EAD3 is blurring the lines between dungeons and the overworld, as we have environmental puzzles and challenging mini-bosses.
And when it comes to dungeons, these have also been hinted to undergo an overhaul for Zelda Wii U. When it comes to puzzles within dungeons, their size being equivalent to that of Ocarina of Time's Hyrule Field, and following the footsteps of The Legend of Zelda and more recently A Link Between Worlds. This in order to offer the most non-linear 3D Zelda dungeon progression ever.
Over to Lake Hylia and the Great Bridge of Hylia, which unlike in Twilight Princess, are not separate areas divided by a thick loading screen or a minigame. This is far from the only area that was a separate map in the past. In fact, every loading screen in Zelda games marks the transition for separate maps. In Zelda Wii U, each of these will be merged into one giant overworld. I believe it's this massive leap which led IG Aonuma to demonstrate the Gamepad map in the first, and to this point only, gameplay demonstration, just to tell us the following. No areas in Zelda Wii U are cut off or restricted by Nintendo EAD3. But what impact will this have if you can explore the entire world from the moment you press start?
The obvious answer is more challenging dungeons, and that some areas of the overworld could feature way tougher opponents, both in terms of their capability of dealing damage, but also tactics to prevent the game from being a walk in the park. This is a well-known gameplay feature intended on increasing the difficulty in the original Legend of Zelda.
For instance, you might be able to pass to the inhospitable provinces of Gerudo Desert and Snow Peak in the west, but it will not be recommended in the beginning of the game due to overpowered opponents found in these areas. That is, unless you are a hardcore. These changes might as well undermine the traditional Zelda dungeon progression and lead Nintendo EAD3 to abandon the 3 introductionary dungeons found in Zelda. In return, we might get a higher number of dungeons to complete, but in no chronological order.
Back to some of the unknown provinces. The northwestern province of Snow Peak has likely underwent a massive extension, as this area was probably the most bound in Twilight Princess and stood in stark contrast to the open and wide Gerudo Desert.
Could it be that all of these mountains will be traversable, climbable and hide treasures and other secrets? But one thing is clear. Ocarina of Time's Castle Town is back, and this time I believe that the castle will offer the only loading screen in the game. Yes, I believe that the town itself will be a different map, but in return be bigger and better than ever.
Time to talk about something that we've never seen in a Zelda game, namely destructible environments and physics. In the chase scene of the E3 reveal, we could clearly see that the energy monster was capable of destroying objects such as the little wooden bridge Link attempted to cross.
Closing in on the final provinces, we reach the hilly but grassy location of the scene from last year's November Nintendo Direct. Apart from the dominant Death Mountain, almost no area in the game is visible from anywhere. This just evidences the sheer scale of the map and how massive each province will be compared to what we are used to. And by reaching the east coast, we complete our great tour of Hyrule as we look at the open and seamless sea, wondering whether we will be able to sail across it to the many islands.
Summing up, this game will by no doubt redefine how we see and play Zelda, as Eiji Aonuma has promised something completely new for this ultimate Zelda experience. We believe that this transition will first and foremost be visible in the form of a more extensive and detailed overworld, with actual content instead of empty hub areas and tons of secrets and points of interest to uncover. The same goes for puzzle solving, which will be overhauled and embody the areas outside of the dungeons in the form of environmental puzzles.
The dungeons will be bigger and more elaborate, as each of them will have a unique opportunity to shine with a non-linear progression. This again might indicate that the limited 3 traditional introductory dungeons will be scrapped in favour of a greater number of dungeons in this vast world, and all of them being open from the beginning of the game, but require the right equipment. With it, the lending and purchase system from A Link Between Worlds could make a return in Zelda Wii U, but in a more extensive manner.
In the end, we will just have to wait and see whether these hopes will turn into reality as we get to E3 in June, but that will be told next week in Zelda Ultimate. Also, remember to like, share, favorite, comment, and most importantly subscribe to Commonwealth Realm and Zeltik for more Zelda Wii U and Zelda videos. But in terms of Zelda Unknown, I want to give you a choice on what of these 2 provinces with great potential should be out next. Snow Peak with the entire mountain range in northern Hyrule, or Gerudo Desert. Cast your vote in the comment section below. We all hope you still have a great day, and we will see you girls and guys later.